So here we go for the tube. Say what up, tube.
What up, tube?
What up, tube? All right, and last but certainly not least, for the show, y'all ready to rock it and roll it?
3.
You gonna take my lines?
Oh, sorry.
It's cool. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Ooh, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The insurance bro, James Cias with Pipeline Insurance, and as always, another fun-filled show ready to rock and roll for you, the listening audience. We appreciate every single one of you, but let me tell you something. Won't somebody think of the children? Well, today's guest absolutely does. For the past 15 years, less fortunate children have been getting the nutrition they need from an extraordinary organization, bridging the gap to make sure no child goes hungry. Joining us today from the It's All About Kids organization, please welcome Angela Brannon Baptiste.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This
You
was
did good,
fun.
huh?
Yeah, you did great.
I
did all right.
I don't know how he does that.
You did great.
See, we're talented in our own ways. That is a skill.
It's a little
by the
bit of
way.
a skill.
It's a skill.
Tiny bit.
Ladies and gents, before we get to the kids, I want to remind you guys, we're raising 365 pairs of shoes for the homeless. We are at 302, so we got 63 pairs of shoes left.
We're over 300.
Over 300. We're at the final home stretch. It's cool because we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas coming around the corner,
That's right.
so we're going to hit that number no problem. So
No
if you guys
problem.
have new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or James at csfirst.com. The guy is also in insurance. So if you have a business, maybe a tax office, maybe a mortgage office, you want to help increase the bottom line, let us do the heavy lifting for you and help cut you guys a check to the book of business that you already have. James can help you out with that. Plus, if you need home, auto, commercial, whatever type of insurance, we'll help you out with that too. 619-884-0045 or James at csfirst.com. Show sponsor is dronequote.net. Lifting for you and help cut you guys a check.
That, my bad.
Sorry, that was my that was what ventriloquist skills right there?
Yeah, super
That was me.
ventriloquist
That was me
skills.
right there.
That was
All right,
totally
dronequote.net /business bros is our show sponsor. So if you guys have any need for solar and you're thinking about shopping, don't know where to start, that's the beginning. Dronequote.net /business bros. They're going to bring a drone to your home, measure out your rooftop, send it to solar companies and roofing companies. You sit back, look at all the different quotes from all the solar companies, pick the one that works for you, and knock down that electricity bill because you don't need that. Sun's working for us. San Diego, sunny San Diego. You pay the property tax, might as well take advantage of the sun. Dronequote.net /business bros.
Might as well. And don't forget, if you can guess within 5 seconds
Within 5 seconds
of when we drop the commercial break.
So if you're on the live feed, take a stab. What time is the commercial break coming? If you get it within 5 seconds. Minute and seconds. If you get it within 5 seconds, we're going to send you, what are we going to do, Starbucks cards first?
Sure, we'll try that.
We're going to start off with Starbucks card. So if you're on the live, set it up, pick a time, and let's see what happens. You never know.
And by the way, it's completely random, and I don't even look at the times.
Yeah. Sometimes he even forgets.
That's
Just
right.
kidding. All right, ladies and gents, let's get to about the kids.
It's all about the kids,
It's all
baby.
about the kids. So, Angela, tell me.
It's like the Benjamins.
Why? Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins. Well, I mean, I'm sure there were some
Sometimes it
Benjamins
is.
there, right? There were some Benjamins there. What prompted you to do something like this? I mean, it takes a big heart, but what put you in that action mindset?
Well, when I was younger, my mom always had us involved in doing things for charity. And then after I graduated from college, I went to work for the government for the WIC program and commodity supplemental food. So I learned how to run a food program, but not how to serve people.
Shout out to Mom. My mom was in WIC too.
Yeah, well,
Dude, double.
I was part of the program, so they either had to see me to get their coupons back in the day before there was EBT cards and before there was the cards, and I was a nutrition education coordinator. So I also did a lot of things at the state level. So then I would always work for big companies, and I had a couple companies of my own, and all the big companies didn't really want to do anything for charity, even though I thought that they should.
Mm-hmm.
And so I quit my job.
You took a big
In
leap of faith.
2003 and decided to start my own charity. I'd started my organization Partying for Purpose back in 1997, just throwing parties and giving the money away. So then I decided I really wanted to become a charity. So then in 2004, my co-founder Sean Hale called me up one day and said, I want to take you to dinner. And the next day he took me to dinner and said, I've been watching you and I think you're honest and I want to give you an office, the salary, anything you want. Let's do this and start a charity.
Wow.
Yeah. But
talk about following your dream.
Well, the crazy thing is the day before I had landed a party at the Playboy Mansion and I had $53 in the bank.
How are you going to pull that off?
I had no way to pay for anything and I didn't know what I was going to do. So, luckily, he came along. We went to the bank on Friday. That was on Tuesday. We met for dinner. On Friday, we went to the bank. He gave me $10,000.
And you put the party on. That's how it got started.
Over $4 million later, and tens of thousands of children have been helped, and all the different programs that we've had throughout the years.
That's an amazing,
yeah.
Wow. First of all, shout out to the WIC. Like my mom used to work for WIC for a long time, and one of the weirdest things I always thought was when she would come home with these like nipples, because she would have to do the breastfeeding courses.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
But it was so weird because we were
lactation specialists.
Yeah. Well, but we're 3 boys. So she's the only one coming home with this. We're like, what the heck is that thing, Mom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, back in the day, I saw one woman every 7 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you learn all these nutritional things.
All the world's problems in 7 minutes. I mean, it's super hard. It's a super hard job.
Well, I wonder how much like the American Red Cross and WIC program like instills in its employees, because my mom runs a food bank now.
Well, see, so do I.
And that exactly.
Here I am, 25 years later, I'm running a pantry through our charity. And for the first 13 years of the charity, we did a ton of stuff. We helped, we paid for uniforms for kids who had AIDS. We paid for funerals for moms that had AIDS who had died. We did backpacks and shoes and toys. I taught life skills and I mentored homeless teenagers for 14 years. And then we chose food to go full-time with food. And it's taken off. Last month, are you ready? Mm-hmm. Oh no, we're in November now. In September, after 24 months of the program, we exceeded 500,000 meals. We'll hit 1 million next summer.
Wow!
And the growth is going every week.
Well, see,
per month.
Per month, it's 40,000, over 40,000 meals per month. But we're adding them all up. So when we started with 0. Okay, 0 meals. A pound is a meal. And we let the families come in and choose what kind of food they want, up to 40 pounds of food per family.
And see, this is one of those double-edged sword things for me. It's like I'm really impressed with the number of meals that you've been able to provide. That's amazing. And yet at the same time, it's absolutely sad.
Totally sad.
That your type of organization exists and is growing.
And we could do it all the time. I mean, we could be open every day in different parts of the town. I mean, the need is there. This is 64% of all kids that are in the San Diego school district are eligible for free school lunch. 64%. So many of our families just do not have the money to buy food because it's the last thing you buy. You know, you have to pay for the rent, you have to pay for the insurance, you have to pay for the electricity, you have to pay for all these things, and then the last thing is the money for food. And as we all know, food's super expensive, and if the price of gas goes up, then the price of food goes up. But the price of food goes up because it gets trucked to the grocery store. So then they have to choose. So the only requirement we have is that you have to have a child under the age of 18 living in the house at least 50% of the time. So we have both grandma and mom on the program. We have dad and grandpa on the program, but they live in separate houses. Because we know the kids are at grandma's at least 50% of the time anyways. And then we know the food's not going to go back and forth. So we want food in the kitchens. We want them cooking. How the kids eating.
How do you end up deciding, or how do you end up like starting a foundation like this, a nonprofit like this? I know
you're nuts. Yeah, crazy. I just knew I wanted to start my own charity, and back in 2004, there wasn't a ton of charities like there is now. There really wasn't.
Well, no, it was not a very good time in the economy.
You're about to no. 2004 was good. Great. 2004, 5, and 6,
2007 is when we hit.
Are amazing years for us. 7 and 8. 7 was great. 8 was terrible. Terrible. We had several times I've had to reinvent the charity just to find different ways to make money and to figure it out, how we were going to serve the community best. So to start your own charity, it's a ton of work. I advise people, and I also, on the side, I'm a charity coach for other charities, but I advise people, don't start your own charity. What you do is keep that really high-paying job and keep your passion, whatever it is, and then date charities. Okay, so
what do you mean date charities? Like try them out?
Try them out. Go volunteer for them, and then really go into their offices and see what's going on and see how they run it. And if you really like it, then try to figure out how you're going to get yourself on the board of directors. Maybe give them a big donation, buy your way on the board. then you can help steer that charity instead of trying to start your own, because it's super hard. I mean, my boss is the IRS and my board of directors, of course, but it's the IRS. And it's super hard to raise money because there's so many charities. And there's the big ones who take the biggest pieces, and then they kind of just leave all the scraps for us. So we have to be super creative in how we raise money.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like you talked about some downtimes where money's hard to come by. And when people are first getting started with charities, they have no name, no recognition, no anything. Money's definitely hard to come by. What kind of creative stuff did you do to, help make this happen?
We had parties. That was our big thing, because I had thrown big parties for years. So our big thing was to just get back out in the community and, $10 at the door, auctions, raffles, do whatever I could. But then the internet came. And once the internet really kicked in with crowdfunding and being able to raise money, like we've been able to raise more money like on Facebook than we ever could in the past years. So it's weird. It's like it got hard, but then it kind of got easier because we kind of are in everybody's face. Charities are out there more. Before, you kind of had to seek out a charity to donate. Now you get Facebook ads and you get Google ads and all kinds of billboards and everything about that to donate to certain charities. So, it's run a little different now. But my advice is don't do it. Don't do it. There's enough charities out there. You can usually find one that aligns with what you want to do, instead of losing your mind and working 24 hours a day like I do.
Yeah, there's but some people, like I'm telling you, I don't know, it's something about you WIC people. Like my mom, my mom is like a beast when it comes to helping people. I mean, every day she lives in LA, so she started the food. Well, she picked up the food bank, and it was really tiny at the time. And now I don't know how many families does mom feed a week.
I want to say it's somewhere around 500
That's a lot.
A month.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I think they capped her out for whatever reasons at like 125 a week or something like that. So,
based on size of the church or whatever it is supposed to be.
The thing
she's
is
she's listening. She'll probably comment and let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'd like to meet her and swap stories with her.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're finding a lot of new families that are coming are the immigrant families, because we're having a hard time communicating in the same Spanish that we speak. So it's a little different dialects. So we get between 9 to 20 new families every week, and I don't say no. I can't say no.
That's my mom
I just
too.
raise more money. And then we created the first solar pantry.
So tell me about that. What do you mean by solar pantry?
Okay, so we didn't have any storage at the facility that we're in. We only rent a hall once a week. So we would like almost run out of food every week, and it was super scary. And I just couldn't sleep. So I said, okay, solve the problem, because that's what I do, solve the problem. I like shipping containers. I think they're super cool. So I had an idea that we could put a refrigeration unit inside of a 20-foot shipping container, put solar on the roof. But I also learned that if you don't know how to do something, go to an expert, right? So two of my friends are electricians. So they're with IBEW 569.
Nice.
Christina and
Shout
April.
out.
I went out to them and said, help me. They introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Steve Stepp. He then gave us a bunch of ideas, wrote up some plans. Then we got the Insulation Workers Union involved, the Iron Workers Union involved, Baker Electric, Home Energy, amazing folks, Grid Alternatives, Finance of America. Everybody started giving us money. So we put the whole thing together. So now in the parking lot, we have a freestanding shipping container that 14 feet, it's got a wall in the middle, so 14 feet is refrigerated. When you turn on the AC unit, it tricks the AC unit down to going about 50 to 55 degrees, and we can turn that baby on. So we can store counter vegetables. So oranges, apples, things that go on the counter overnight, couple of days. I'm not into storing food. Don't like to store it. But because we have that storage, we're able to get more free food.
Yeah, because they have their days that they have to turn it over.
Correct. And we get more free food from the San Diego Food Bank that way, and from Feeding San Diego. So we never run out. So if suddenly we get 20 new families, I'm not going to run out of food. And my food cost went down because now I can store it, because I can get full pallets for half price or almost free. So
tell me a little bit about that, because it's funny because every time I hear you talk about stuff, I've heard it before. I feel like I've heard it before. My mom's always, calling up. She goes on this website. She's got to make sure she goes on there by a certain time, and she places her order for food, and she gets it by the pound, and all these different things. Like, how do you get connected with these different things? Like, where were you thinking? Where, like, you had this concept of I want to feed kids. but the line got longer and the line got longer and the line got longer, and you go out and find these different people to donate, these different vendors who are giving out food. Like, how does that happen?
I hustle.
I hustle.
I do. I hustle. I just do. I mean, I feel like I know the right people in the right places, and I ask. I mean, you don't get anything unless you ask.
That's a big one.
And I have some amazing people who help me. I have amazing people who believe in what we're doing. Like we were talking about, Battle Fulkerson. Those guys are amazing. Without them, they donate money every single month to buy food. So that I know every month that I've got the budget to buy the food. So then I just have to find all the rest of the money for everything else, which is hard, but we have big fundraisers and we do a lot of cause marketing. So like at PB Fish Shop and Point Loma Fish Shop and Encinitas Fish Shop, you buy the Mahi Elote taco, which is, it's all about the kids taco, and they donate a meal.
That's awesome. So, wait, what was that?
At PB Fish Shop, Point Loma Fish Shop, and Encinitas Fish Shop. Go in there. They just had their give back weekend too this past weekend. The first weekend of every month is their give back weekend. So they actually ask for donations at the counter for us. But you go in there and you'll see the sign. It says the Mahi Elote taco. It is so good. You like corn? It's amazing. And for every taco that they sell, they donate a meal to our charity. If you go to Meze or any of them, or El Chingon or Prohibition, if you guys go in there and you buy the Meze spicy sauce, that signature sauce, they donate a meal for every bottle they sell for that too.
See, so it's just getting in and coordinating with different vendors and cross promoting.
And his cause marketing is great because our food cost is low, but we're able to then do a meal for a meal, for example.
Well, you said you only rented the hall for once a week. So how often are you doing?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday you're doing the meals.
Yeah. Every Thursday. So they come in, they check in. We're paperless. We have an app that was created for us from UCSD. So they check in and we go through the ones that have already been on the program before. We can check them in less than 2 seconds. They bring their bags or we have boxes and they walk around, choose what they want. We help them out to the car and they're off. We go through almost 300 families in 3 hours and 30 minutes.
That's amazing. The app makes a nice big difference.
Yeah, and it keeps
what else are you using it for
analytics.
when you're able to talk to them? You send them out like different nutrition items, different things.
We have a text message program too. We use text vending. So we send out text messages and recipes and all kinds of stuff. The food that we get them is pretty normal because we want them to enjoy it. We don't want it to be too crazy and give them something they don't understand. But like we had bok choy once and I was afraid they wouldn't be able to know what to do with it. So we sent out a recipe with bok choy and green beans and a little bit of soy sauce and it was delicious. They loved it. The kids loved it. They get, of the 40 pounds they receive, about 25 or more pounds are fresh produce. Because we're super into fresh produce.
Yeah, that's huge, so especially for the young kids.
Yeah, they're really getting nutritious food. They'll get their staples, rice, pasta, some canned goods just as staples, but we really push the produce. Yeah, breads and tortilla too.
And it's tough when you didn't have that refrigerated unit to be able to do the fresh produce.
Well, we get rid of all the produce all day, the same day. That will help us in the future if somebody wants to donate on Tuesday or Wednesday. But the food comes from the food bank first thing in the morning, and we definitely give it all out. And if not, then we save it for the seniors who are there at the hall the next day. So we're actually making sure all the meals are going out. So we're going between 10. A couple weeks ago, we did over 12,000 meals in one day. I think the most we've done is 14,000 in one day. So we're over 10,000 every week. Yeah, I know we had these cute flyers printed, and it says 10 to, because I thought it was pretty good. I was thinking 6 to 10,000.
That's pretty good.
These will last me a couple months.
Yeah.
We went straight to 10,000, and we stayed there. And we keep going more and more every week.
Do you have any limitations on like the size that the number of people that you feed in a week, or is there any like you're just like keep them coming if they need to?
Keep them coming. I'm not going to say no. I can't. How can I say no? No, I worked for the government. Yeah, I learned how 5 o'clock, man. Boom. Lock that door.
Don't you dare go overtime.
Don't answer the door. Get in the car, and if someone would come to get their coupons, we would have to tell them no, and it broke my heart. Because those are the people that needed it the most. So we close at 6, but we're still there a little later. Christy, our food pantry manager, she's amazing. She's always there till a little bit, 6:15, 6:20. And so the families know we don't want you to drive all crazy to get here. Yeah. We want you to
be
come
safe.
and get... because what happens is they won't come back. And who's going to suffer?
The kids.
The kids. And we want to go get the kids at the 6 to 6 program because they have to leave from there, right? Don't make the kids wait. Go get the kids and bring them over. And then we always have food left.
Do you guys still organize any other events other than when they come on Thursdays? Are there other events that you guys put together for them?
During the year we do. We always, any time I can put together a party. Yeah. So, because I love to. Like for Halloween, we give the kids candy and stuff, which is usually against what I believe, but I can't help it on Halloween.
It's Halloween.
I know.
It's
so they were so
year.
cute. But we have a holiday party. So we've got that coming up on the 14th. which is kind of scary because last year we had 150 families. This year we have over 800.
So, I remember last year, I think it was, I know somebody who would do the feed the homeless type thing. And then we had that whole hepatitis breakout and you're not allowed to create cooked foods and all this like BS stuff that they're trying to make us inhumane. How did that affect what you guys were doing?
It didn't affect us at all. It didn't. Because we give out produce.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I have to watch is for all the recalls.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah,
which
like
I get
the
all that
lettuce
from
or
the
whatever.
food bank. Yeah,
Right.
because like that was crazy for us because like for like 2 months after that whole romaine lettuce thing, like we got some romaine in and the families were a little like, oh, are you sure? And I would be like, yeah, it's okay.
Good. It's good.
Yeah. So I have to watch the recalls, especially if we get anything different. But the homeless problem affects us because we will have a lot of families that are homeless that come and get food from us. We can tell because they're living in the car. And so what we try to do is kind of, of course, have tons of kindness and dignity towards them. But we also tell the families, if something's crazy is going on and you need more food, tell us. Pull us aside and tell us you've got 2 more people living in the family or you're homeless or whatever. And we'll do our best to get you extra food because we have it.
Yeah.
So I believe in giving it out. I don't believe in you only get 1. If somebody needs 2, then we're going to give them 2.
Yeah.
That's why I don't work for the government anymore.
Because you don't want those limitations.
Well, I used to fight with them. I fought with USDA to change the program in New Hampshire, to move it from getting a box of commodity supplemental food to being choice and let them choose what they wanted. It took me over a year to get them to change their minds. But then they switched and saved tens of thousands of dollars.
But here you get to run the show.
That's why I run the show now. I love it so much better. Well, no, because I took what I knew and I took what was ingrained in my brain for the years that I worked with them. And then I said, well, what really works for people? Like if we have 2 sisters on the program or even 2 neighbors on the program, we let one person pick up for another person.
Mm-hmm.
That would never happen with the government. Oh my God. They would just
2
say,
forms of ID, please validate your social security
Yeah.
number.
And my thing is this, it's food. And because she doesn't have a car and you have a car, I want you to pick up for her.
Yeah.
Pick up for all the neighbors. I have one lady
called
picks up for
being human.
3 families because we want her to, because we know the families need the food and they're the ones that need the food the most because they can't get to the grocery store. That's called a food desert when you live in a community in which there's not access to a real grocery store and it's too far to walk.
Yeah.
And you can't walk with the 3 kids. And where are you going to put the groceries? You can only get what you can carry. So the kid in the stroller has to walk and you're going to put it in the stroller and then you get the other kids. It's just
too much of a headache.
It's not conducive.
What can people who are not involved in a charity like this, but they want to I got kids. I mean, I teach high school. I got kids all the time looking for community service hours.
Pick us.
All right.
Pick us because we have the food pantry. We're open from 2:30 to 6 on Thursdays. So it's time for kids to come after school. We have some high school kids that come and help us already. That we love it. We have a grandma who brings her kids. It's so awesome. And teaching them work ethic, teaching them how to have empathy, as well.
It's a perspective.
Because for my friends and my partners, they're not sponsors, but my partners who brought their children, it's a very interesting conversation for the way home in the car. Think about how much food we throw away and why do those people have to come get food? That's usually the biggest question that I'm told. Why do they have to come and get food? And so it starts a conversation with parents to explain to them how the world is and then also teach empathy.
It's humbling.
Correct.
I mean, I know growing up as kids, we spent a lot of time in TJ. Just because family crossing the border ever since we were kids, my parents were always involved in like putting big clothing, food drives and all that stuff, going across the border, doing that sort of stuff. And just seeing the life difference between Mexico lifestyle for a kid, American lifestyle for a kid. Huge. You really start to feel that empathy that you're talking about. You understand like, oh my gosh, like I am really blessed. I have, XYZ in my life and these people are struggling just to get everything right.
Yeah. We used to help orphanages down in Mexico. So absolutely. I would cry a lot more than I cry now, but I would cry a lot just because I wanted to do so much more and my hands were super tied with not being Mexican, and so there was only so much that I could do while I was down there, but the system is so different. It's so different down there. But yeah, I would raise money here, go across the border down there, go to the grocery store and buy as much food as I could and like make a deal with the guy in the meat counter and get the chicken, instead of it being like 88 cents a pound, he'd give it to me for like 44 cents a pound. So I'd get as much as I could. And I'd get as much as food as I could. And then we would pile it all in the car and go to the orphanage. But a loaf of bread in an orphanage is only half the kids for one meal.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to make so much food to make it last. And it was just so heartbreaking. And we'd bring them everything we could. But then we'd have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke my heart. I'd cry. They'd try to sneak in our car. They'd try to leave with us. It was really heartbreaking. I would take hairdressers down to go and cut their hair as well. Cut the kids' hair and cut the staff's hair. And then we'd have a party for the kids. But then we decided, you know what? We need to focus on food here in San Diego. You know,
there's problems
the numbers
everywhere,
are huge. And our community needs it. The food's at the food bank. They have the food. They just don't have the people like us to distribute. That's why we want to have more solar pantries. And we do want to take the solar pantries down to Mexico too, deep into Mexico, where they do not have access to fresh fruits and vegetables at the orphanages and at the low income places. That's the goal for years, a couple years from now. But for 2020, it's to bring on at least 2 to 3 more solar pantries.
Just to open up the floodgates for who you can offer stuff to. And right now you guys are in Logan Heights, right? You said?
We're in Barrio.
Barrio Logan?
Yeah, 29th and Market, right in the middle of everything. So it's fun. I mean, it's great. It's hard work. I'm lucky because I get to raise all the money and I don't have to lift all the stuff as much as I used to. Christy does a great job in our pantry. But I'm always raising money. I mean, we have a special right now. This is our new campaign. If you make a $15 donation, you're buying dinner every night for a child for a month.
$15.
For $15 for the price of 3 lattes or a martini downtown. Right?
Truth.
Even more than that.
You should do that like at El Chingon or whatever. Just be like, hey, buy me a drink, and it's all about the kids, and you're dropping the price of a drink into the donation.
Well, see, we're working on a new cause marketing that's called Pouring for a Purpose. So that'll be some drinks that'll be around town that are at the bars, and every time you buy that drink, you're buying a meal.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're working on that to be popping up in a few places soon to be announced. I
mean, it's awesome to talk to people like yourself who've made it your life's purpose to go out and do this. I mean, you could have stayed with WIC, and that would have been a great job. You're still helping people.
I would have been running this. I would have been a director.
Yeah, you'd still be helping people, no problem. That's commendable. That's great. But you took a leap of faith to go out and do something bigger beyond yourself. And I mean, 15 years down the road, and look what you've accomplished. I can imagine the lives that you've changed, that your organization has changed. That, you know, some of these kids when you started were, 5-6 years old. They're 25, 30 years old now, and they have kids of their own. And what you've done to show them that there are other people out there that care, that the world is not just a shitty place. That there's actually people that are out there trying to help you become better, that there's a hand up instead of a hand out. You know what I mean? Like, you're there to help them get to the next level. I think it's huge. I think more and more people, I mean, it's part of what my dad puts as our personal integrity creed. He's been working on it for ever. Right? It's
got
the
website.
We all are.
It's almost a website now.
And he's one of the main reasons why I was asking about the foundation, because that's one of the roads he wants to go down. And it's just, there are few people that light shines within them. You know what I mean? And you that's how I feel about you. You have that light shining within you, and I think it's because how many lights you light up every single day.
I love what I do. I can tell you that when I used to mentor homeless teenagers, that was some of the toughest times, but many of those kids are still in my life. Okay? And they come back and they volunteer for me, including my pantry manager, who is our one employee. So, I mean, I'm surrounded by goodness. I mean, I'm surrounded by thankfulness. We have many, many tears in the pantry. I mean, we have one gentleman came into the pantry. It was super late one night. It was like 5:45. And he kind of just looked in, and I was like, come in. And I spoke to him in Spanish, and he said that his wife had just died. Left him with 3 kids under the age of 5. Ouch. Didn't know how to cook. Didn't know how to do anything. And he said, well, could I give food today? And I was like, of course. And he was like, good, because my food stamps don't kick in for 2 months. And I didn't know how I was going to feed the kids, because he was out of work, because he had to take care of the kids because she had died. And he was waiting for his mother to come from Mexico. So, yeah, it was super hard. And I said, of course you can have food. So we have tons of tears, lots of hugs. One lady, I didn't know what she was saying to me because her Spanish was super thick accent. And then one of the other ladies said that she told me that I was building a stairway to heaven. And I said, yeah, but put the escalator in because I'm starting to get tired. Right?
My steps are getting tired.
Right? You know, and I speak to them in my Spanglish because we also speak Spanish to the women who want us to speak Spanish to them because we want them to feel comfortable in what they do because we want them to come back. We want them to feel that it's a place that they can be safe. And if they have to just deal with my Spanglish, you know, which is really funny because I watch my novellas, which, by the way, to get my Spanish on point. Better, yeah. Oh my God. So that makes them laugh because they can't believe, you know, I watch my El Señor de Cielos. Ooh. You know, I know all kinds of, you know, Colombian Spanish now too. So plata. I never knew what plata was until I started watching my
Google.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's good. It's money. Dinero. But don't say dinero in Colombia. They'll look at you like it's plata. So yeah, and I love it. So, you know, we try to make it as easy as possible, but the bulk of our volunteers are actually our families. They come and help us unload the pallets and put the food out and give the food out every week. That's the core group of our volunteers. You know that's amazing. Did they hear that?
I wonder if they did. I don't know. We'll
the time is 30 minutes and 17 seconds.
Oh.
Wow.
We interrupt today's regularly scheduled podcast for a purely selfish, irreverent, cash-grabbing word from our sponsor. Hernan, what are we selling today?
You know, it's funny. Now I feel guilty because we were talking about...
Like, I've been lagging on that because of how guilty... Like, I don't even want to interrupt how great of a show this has been.
It's all about giving back, and then we have our selfish plug.
And then we have our selfish plug.
All right, really quick, ladies and gents. DroneCode.net/business bros. If you guys go to DroneCode.net/business bros, and if you do it by November 30th, then you guys are entered for a $150 meal. For families, save yourself the time of sitting in front of a presentation. Instead, you know, take that time, get the quotes right in front of you, pick the one that works for you, enter into a drawing. You can earn $150 to take your family out to go do something, or you can donate that money, right? Feed some kids, some families, or boom. That's what we want you guys to do. DroneCode.net/business bros. Selfless plug, really quick.
Had to get that in there.
All right. So Angela, I was gonna say, you know, I did a video, I don't know, a year and a half back, and I was talking about how like one of my goals is to have 10,000 people at my funeral. In other words, if I can be of service to enough people and shape enough lives and help people get to wherever they want to go, and I have 10,000 people at my funeral, then I did something right. And that got me thinking. I was like, you know, when my mom passes away, she's going to be one of those people that has touched the lives of so many people around her. You're one of those people who's touched the lives of so many people around you. And, you know, it is hard work to raise funds and to solve problems. But, you know, for whatever reason, people like you, people like my mom have this endless supply of energy and love and empathy that you guys it's your fuel. Like, I don't, like, you know, I thought I was...
It's hard, though. I mean, it's not easy. A lot of people think that it's easy. One guy said, oh, that doesn't seem very hard. It's super hard to ask for money. And I'm not asking so you can buy something like that's tangible.
Yeah.
Like, buy this skirt, buy this car, buy this, you know. It's not. It's... believe in me and invest in what we're doing and invest in our community, because I feel that the kids are who we need to take care of, because if we don't take care of the kids, then we're going to end up paying for that when we get older, and not necessarily monetarily, but in every way possible.
Absolutely.
And all the other gamuts of what life is all about. And we want healthier kids. We want healthier parents, because see, what happens is when the kids don't eat, the parents aren't eating. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because they're giving the food to the kids. So, you know, they're hangry.
Yeah.
You know, as well as the kids being hungry. So, you know, that's another whole subject. So we try to make sure that there's food for everybody in the house.
So a little bit on a selfish plug. So we're raising those 365 pairs of shoes, and we haven't even quite decided where we're going to go to donate all these shoes or how we're going to do that. So I was kind of wondering, like, you know, you're pretty well connected, at least in the nonprofit space. Maybe we can do something together, you know, to distribute these shoes when we get to that point.
Yeah, I would love to be a part of that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's the best feeling in the whole world too. I mean, it's kind of selfish, but it's the feeling that you get. You get a little weak in the knees.
For sure.
Well, it's joy,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to ask Dan and Dan Fulkerson about it when I saw him over the weekend, but of course I got distracted by the motorcycles and it totally slipped my mind.
What a great event that they had. Those guys are so awesome to help put that together. Yeah, that's so great.
I got one more question for you, because this is something that's comes across for me as difficult all the time. When you see a situation like the one you described about the father, how do you walk away? Because like, I feel like, especially the harder the situation, the more I want to like throw him in my backpack and take him home. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what's it like being in that position regularly and seeing people going through their hardship and still helping them through that?
Well, way back when I worked for WIC, I had to learn to put a wall up and to realize that I can only do as much as I can do. Okay. So then I left WIC and I started doing my own charity, and I actually exceeded those things by always doing so much for everyone. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, it's not my life. Everyone has their own path. So mm-hmm. I feel if I can do as much as I can to help them, but yet I can't do everything for them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's super hard. Lots of tears involved. There's times that, I absolutely go beyond what normal people would do. But I can only do as much as I can do. And then I hold back tears and realize that tomorrow's another week and we're going to make another impact. Another 1,500 people are going to eat our food. And I'm just going to hope that giving them hope and giving them food and making them feel that someone actually cares about them that doesn't know them mm-hmm. will help their lives be enriched, in which that they can continue to strive to be better and to maybe have better things happen to them. Everything takes hard work, but sometimes it's just believing in yourself. I think sometimes that people don't, what happens with, which I have found with people that are in difficult situations, is that they don't risk. Because once you risk and you fail, it's hard to risk again. And if you don't have a safety net underneath you, then you really aren't going to risk. Like when I mentored homeless teenagers, getting really, really hard to get them to fill out college applications mm-hmm. because they thought they were going to fail and they didn't want to fail. So it's the same kind of thing, where I think if we just give them some kindness and some dignity and tell them that they're important, that therefore maybe we can hope that things will turn around for them, because they understand that people do care about them. Because, when you're in bad situations, you feel like nobody cares. Yeah. And you're constantly struggling, and price of gas goes up, the price of this goes up.
It's like the world's mad at me. It's just throwing everything at me at the same time. Yeah.
Why? But maybe if you could just have some food, sit down and then not be hangry. Yeah. You know what I mean? Get a good night's sleep, bond with the kids over dinner, and I can just keep my fingers crossed and hope everything works out better. But it's super hard because I want to do everything. When I worked for WIC, I wanted to take all the kids home. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to do everything that I could, but I couldn't. 5 o'clock. Yeah. Lock that door.
Time to say goodbye.
Yeah, and I couldn't do anything.
I know we're about to jump into our say hi to the camera segment here, yes. But before you do that, Angela, you are super popular. And you have had a lot of people saying hi to you, so I want to get this out to you before you talk to the camera there. Bada Fulkerson, Angela is the best. Desiree Crossman is excited to see you.
Desiree, I went to middle school with Desiree.
That's exactly what she said.
Desiree's been helping our charity for 15 years.
She's amazing. Wow.
Since day one.
That's exactly what she said. She said she went to middle school with you and saw you two on the show, and she was excited to see that. Hello, Angela Rocks de Casbah from Wesley Dwayne.
Oh, hey.
Mom Dwayne did. Wesley.
Yep. Mom did mention that they're serving 160 to 179 families per week, and it's about 10,000 pounds also. Yeah. Another hello from Bobby Diaz. Caroline Abkar says hello, and Jamar Williams.
Oh, and you know what? Jamar. Okay, so can I spill the beans on Jamar?
Sure.
Okay, so because we're announcing this week, Promo Drone, his awesome company, Promo Drone, with like amazing one-of-a-kind advertisement up in the sky with the drone, which is so cool. Yep. So now for the future flights, they'll be donating meals to kids for future flights that are purchased through companies. Awesome. Yeah, they've signed on as cause marketing with us as well.
Nice.
We love them. Yeah, I think what he does is amazing and so different, because no one's got an advertising like that. It's
Nobody.
like taking it to a totally different level to see your logo up on a drone because it draws so much attention.
You know, I didn't tell him this on the show when we interviewed him, but I was just thinking he's probably going to save so many people's necks from being down here all the time and looking at ads. We're going to be like, what's that up there?
So cool.
But yeah,
So
his
cool.
platform is amazing.
Yeah, I'm super proud of him, and we're super honored that
That's
he is
cool.
in the It's All About the Kids family. So
I love that.
yeah.
Cool. You got any more over there?
I spilled
No,
the
that
beans.
was
Sorry,
it.
Jamar.
No, it's cool.
That was it. That's everything.
He's gonna do some amazing things. You'll
For
see.
sure.
I mean, he was just on the cusp of what he was doing so far, and it's in its infancy still. Like I just know that platform's gonna be a whole new ball game.
See, and the cool thing is that I'm going to go back to Battle Fulkerson again. Not only do they support our charity, but they introduced me to the coolest people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's how I met Jamar. And then, of course, Jamar introduced me to Wesley. And it's like the whole thing just goes around and around. That's how I found you guys, so it's like this, just a bunch of really cool people in San Diego. I mean, we have, millions of people that live here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still really tight.
It is
Really
for sure. When you
tight.
get in that group.
I know,
Yep.
it
Yeah,
is.
we all hold hands, kumbaya.
All right.
All right.
Now I want you to look at this camera right here. Tell people how to get a hold of you. How do they get a little bit of help? How do they donate? How do they volunteer?
Okay. The best way to find us is on our website. It's allaboutthekids.org. You can also go to Facebook, which is It's All About the Kids. You can go to Instagram. It's All About the Kids Charity. We're on Twitter. It's About Kids. But the best way is the website. We have a volunteer page that's on there where you can sign up to volunteer. We need volunteers every Thursday, except for Thanksgiving week. We need volunteers on Wednesday because we can't distribute on Thanksgiving.
Day.
So we're going to do the day before. Make sure they have food for Thanksgiving. And then we also, on December 14th, have our holiday party. So we're looking for sponsors for that. I also have to collect about 1,500 stuffed animals. So
1,500 stuffed
yeah,
animals.
so we're working on that next. So maybe I'll help you guys with the shoes, and you guys can help me with the
Yeah,
stuffed animals.
that sounds
Dig it.
Is
good.
that, I think 60 some pairs of shoes. We might be able to.
Yeah, we
might
can
be
pull
able to
that off, no
handle
problem.
that. Might be able to handle that.
All right, you need you need stuffed animals by when?
We like to have them by the 10th, just so that I know where I'm at for
Okay.
the next 3 days.
December 10th. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to see a challenge. So I want
Oh.
everyone to know. Okay, so I'm Lebanese and I bring gifts. So I brought these guys this bottle of Hannaberry to enjoy, and so we're gonna put it on the shelf. And I want everybody to check and see how long till it's empty.
So that means every guest that comes
Uh-huh.
over,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
see
take
how
a
long
sip.
that lasts. Okay. 'Cause
Challenge
I
is
don't
to
know.
drink
It
it by
didn't
the
get
end of the
open
year.
today, so we'll see. Because now you got to check back every week and
Let's
say,
get it.
it got cracked.
We got to start
open."
dropping it.
Yeah, it got cracked open. Best whiskey ever.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm a whiskey fan.
Well, I had to make a present.
Yeah, no,
And the
we
kids
totally
made that,
appreciate
so
it. This
we got
is
that. The kids made that. We have great little artists. The kids come in and we have them draw for us.
Love
And
it.
we're going to be having an art show on December 15th at Blank Slate Studio, and we'll have more of those for sale for the kids with a bunch of other stuff. That's going to
Always
benefit
raising
our
funds.
our Be
I
Like
love
Bob
it.
award that we have
Yeah.
that's coming up. Yeah. So yeah, we're I'm just always hustling. I'm always out there trying to raise. We want to try to raise between $15,000 to $20,000 for the holiday party because we want to give each family a gift card.
Ooh.
Last year we gave them a $50 gift card, so this year we want to try to give them at least $25 to $50. We just have so many more families.
We're all right. Well, I mean, this is a lot to
Got a
take in.
lot.
Yeah.
But I got.
But
I
that's
got
a lot of
time.
opportunities. Oh yeah, you
I
got time. It's all about
It's all
the
about
kids.
the kids.
It's all about the
.org.
kids.
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, ladies and gents,
.org. And you guys, thanks for some fun. This was really
this
fun.
is really cool.
This
I
was
love
fun
getting
do
to know
that.
you.
I love to talk about what we do, but this is a platform in which it's super important for us to get out. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm super grateful. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here.
Ladies and gents, that's all we got for you guys today. I'm not even going to do the end promos. James does insurance. dronecode.net/business bros. We're raising shoes. But today, it's all about the kids. So make sure you guys head over there. Check it out. If you can donate. If you can donate your time, even better. Now we're looking for shoes. We're looking for teddy bears. We're looking for money. We're looking for fundraising ideas. We're looking for your time, whatever you
Volunteers.
got.
Yep.
Whatever you got. All right, Angela, thanks
Thank
for coming
you
on.
so
Really
much,
appreciate it.
Jay.
That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Spread that
Bye,
positivity.
And we're out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Facebook. Appreciate you. Love
Bye,
you.
Facebook.
Bye,